Okay, we're recording?
Yes, sir.
Welcome, everyone, to the Rink Rat Report podcast. Joined only today by Jason.
Yep.
Josh has been put on the IR with a concussion, unfortunately.
We promise this isn't LTIR shenanigans.
Yeah. We're circumventing the cap so that we're circumventing our taxes so that we can make more from this podcast. But the official Rink Rat Report, the official money laundering podcast of, I don't know.
Hockey.
Anyways, the official hockey money laundering podcast. But let's get into it. Only 3 games on the docket this week. We're recording this. Probably this will come out, I don't know, Thursday or Friday, whenever. March 24th, as we had to do our trade deadline episode earlier in the week. I said on that episode that I was like, oh, today wasn't that good. There wasn't that many deals. But like they said that there was like a record amount of trades that were made.
Was it on deadline day?
I don't know. That's the thing. Was there a record amount on deadline day? Did it feel like that?
It felt like the whole of the trade deadline, like the weekend leading up to it, like let's make it 3 days. Like especially that Sunday. Like it felt like there was a lot of movement.
Saturday.
If you include Saturday and Sunday in there. Yeah.
But what like kind of made it worse, even Claude Giroux was telling everyone I'm going to Florida, but they didn't have a deal in place yet. That was just the only place he was willing to go.
Wow.
So Florida played hardball with Philly, and that's why it took until Saturday or Sunday. It was Saturday until for the deal to actually get done. But everyone knew on like Thursday because he's just like, yeah, I'm going to Florida, whether they like it or not.
What a guy.
But yeah, so I don't know. It was an all right trade deadline. Whatever.
Yeah.
Good for the Leafs in terms of the trade deadline day was whatever, but for the Leafs, a good trade deadline overall.
Yeah,
good trade season. I don't know.
We gave them an A, B. Like I think the average we gave from us three was like around a B plus. Yeah.
If you look at like the whole scope of everything, not just like the trades in a vacuum, I'd say B plus kind of thing because of all the moves that had to be made around it.
Yeah.
But let's get into it this week. Hurricanes, Predators, and Devils were on the docket. The St. Patrick's Day game against the Hurricanes, so the Leafs were wearing their greens. An interesting point that someone made on Twitter, Eric Kallgren's jersey collection is absolutely amazing. He has now worn the regular jerseys, the Toronto Arenas, the St. Patrick's jerseys, and the Next Generation jerseys as well. He's only been here like a month, not even, if that. But yeah, the Hurricanes did outshoot the Leafs massively in this one. The chances, though, in terms of quality, mainly went to the Leafs, I felt like. Kallgren did play well. He made a couple pretty big saves in there. The Hurricanes scored a chintzy one with like 10 seconds left in the game there. It should have been a 3-1 game, but whatever. Who's counting there? But overall, a good game. The Europeans really, I feel like, really chipped in this one. You know, Nylander, Takasha, Ilya Mikheyev scored a nice goal in there as well. Mitch Marner scored assist from Timothy Liljegren, who started that stretch pass to Tavares there. But I racked my brain as hard as I could, believe me, to try to make a connection between St. Patrick's Day and this game. I could not. I don't know. Something about Frederik Andersen having red hair and leprechauns or something. I don't know. I couldn't do it. I'm sorry. I've let everyone down. But the next game here, the Predators. So, unfortunately, the experts, they called this one a playoff game. I'm sorry to report this was apparently a playoff game. The Hurricanes one wasn't. The Devils one wasn't. But this was and the Stars one wasn't either. But this one was a playoff game, unfortunately. I'm sorry to report that. We beat Nashville earlier in the year, but that was not a playoff game, believe me. How can you tell what's a playoff game? The experts say after the Leafs lose, that it's a playoff game. Yes. So, happens. We'll come out with an algorithm maybe how to determine if it was a playoff game. I think mostly Leafy's on Twitter already did. Anyways, I didn't mind this game. Bit of a slow start. Eric Kallgren had some good moments in it. A lot of technicalities, which I'll touch on later. Mike McKenna had a great article on Eric Kallgren. Mike McKenna of Daily Faceoff, that is, former pro hockey goalie. He had a great article on Eric Kallgren. I'll get into that a little bit later, but he had a decent game. There was maybe one where he kind of got beat on a good shot there. It was a puck was on its side, fluttered all around everywhere. But overall, decent game from him. I thought the Leafs battled pretty hard in this one. 3 goals from the top line. I thought the top line, I think the expected goals percentage for some of them was over 80%. They cycled the puck insanely well. Some parts of the team were lagging behind, I felt like, but it was a pretty back-and-forth game. 3 posts, 2 from Austin Matthews, 1 crossbar from Jason Spezza in there as well. The Predators did have a disallowed goal, but that was a full push from Matt Duchene, who's an enormous crybaby, if I'm going to add that. And UC Soros, Juicy. I don't know if that's his nickname, but holy smokes, he played very well in this one. I think he's a top 5 goalie in this league. I don't think there's much of debate about that. He's a sub 6 foot goalie too. There are some scouts that won't pick a goalie unless he's over 6'2", just for some perspective. So after they lost this playoff game, came back home for the next generation game against the Devils, the New Jerseys. I'm not like a big Raiders fan. I love Al Davis's quotes though, and like the black on jerseys is just an absolute must for. I love black on jerseys, so that's why these next gen jerseys were incredible. I mean, the reversible, I wonder how hot that would get. That's my only criticism. I think almost all hockey jerseys should be reversible, especially for men's league. But that's another point. But yeah, just like the jerseys, there was more than a few reverse calls in this one as well. Never seen that before, but they reversed 2 calls. One icing, they reversed on Dougie Hamilton, but more importantly, they reversed a penalty on Mark Giordano. That's why you get veterans at the deadline.
Exactly.
But funniest was people saying the Leafs bias is incredible in this league. The Leafs get all the calls. Someone was a Boston fan that said that.
Oh my God.
Like game 2, 2018, was it, bud? Or 2019? Yeah, 2019 game 2. Just go have a look at that game.
Yeah.
And then tell me that again, moron. This was a really weird game. Couple goals on the special teams. The penalty kill, that is. The power play looked like it was half drunk for the entire game. Mitch Marner had himself an odd game, an up and down one, because he was falling all over the place, turning over the puck like crazy on the power play in the first half of the game, and then he scores a goal, plays pretty well the rest of the way there. Couple of chances off the penalty kill, too. More chances on the penalty kill than he had on the power play. That's what kind of game this was. So, 2-1, I think, on the special teams with 2 shorthanded goals from the tall, lanky boys on the Leafs there. Lots of speed in this game. The Devils are a very fast team. They're a very small team, though. And I'm going to get later into Nico Dawes' games. I had some opinions on him. Some good ones for the most part, because he is a 2000 born. But yeah, and that's all we had for this week.
It's a pretty good recap.
Oh yeah,
I liked how we wore the New Jerseys against New Jersey. I think that's a funny one.
I think it was a big miss that New Jersey didn't wear those jerseys that just said Jersey that were designed by Marty Brodeur, world-renowned designer Marty Brodeur, up against Justin Bieber's jerseys.
No, I love that the Leafs jersey. That was. Actually,
were you filling your diaper too about the jerseys?
No.
Did you hate them?
No, I love them. I got them. Like me and my friends bought
you
those
bought
jerseys.
it?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. And I got one for my girlfriend
Pricey,
too.
or?
They were okay. I got ripped off because I bought one from the Drew website, and it's $40 more on because like remember the drop earlier in the year that Justin Bieber did with like, and it sold out super fast. So like right when it happened, like my girlfriend's like a big Justin Bieber fan, so I was like, all right, I'll get you that jersey, whatever. And so I went to the Drew site, got into it. I'm like, yes, we got it. And then my buddy texted me. He's like, yo, let's get them from Real Sports, $199. You can get a name on the back. Same price to get the name on the back of the jersey as it was to get it shipped from Drew, wherever that Drew house is. Mm-hmm. But anyways, that's my little rant. I felt a little ripped off by them, but whatever. Not that big.
That's interesting. That's an interesting arbitrage to report. First report here. Don't go to the Drew House website.
Yeah, go to Real Sports. Go to Real Sports. Yeah.
But also, yeah, I don't understand. People always, I don't know. There were so many old people complaining about these jerseys. Just shut up.
Yeah, they're not for you. Like just straight up, they're not.
These aren't the next gen jerseys where you literally could not see the names, the last names. You couldn't tell the numbers or the last names on those.
The reverse
TV.
retros, yeah.
Yeah, they had to change them. I swear, or they had to change something.
I don't know. They were brutal. I'm just happy.
Those are ugly as hell.
Like if these are like alternates,
these were nice. I like them.
If these are a third jersey going forward, I'm here for it.
It's funny because they had the arenas the St. Pat's and the
Next Gen.
Yeah, Next Gen jerseys, like all kind of in a row.
Yeah.
So Keith Olbermann, who's a complete loser, was saying, he's like, oh, the Leafs hate wearing their own jerseys or something. Like, shut up.
So weird. Such a weird
I don't know.
take.
People are saying, like, oh, respect the logo and all that. Like, the jersey has changed so many times over the years.
Yeah.
Like,
and all these things are like good.
It's all a cash grab. No shit.
Yeah,
this
like,
entire
that's good.
league.
That's good though. Like we want that. We want
Everything's a cash grab, moron.
Yeah, like, and if people want to buy it, good. Like, let the league get more money. That means like that's good. That's good when the league gets more money. That's good when the league steps outside its comfort zone, makes a new jersey, and sells it to fans who wouldn't normally watch a game. And hey, maybe they tuned in that night for Justin Bieber, whoever. But like, if it grows the game even a little bit, I'm like, how can you be mad at it? Anyways,
next we're going to discuss ads on the jerseys. It's a complete disgrace. Last thing I'll touch on with regards to that, I thought it was funny that they got rid of the actual Gen Z that usually sings the anthem for the Leafs and they put in a bunch of, I don't know, were those millennials that were singing?
I don't know. I couldn't tell their age, but they did a good job though. I liked them. I was there.
It was good, yeah, but it's kind of funny that it's next gen night. You got rid of the Gen Z and put in older people.
That's true. That's true. She must have been
studying.
I don't know. I don't know.
Who knows? I don't know. I just thought that was kind of funny there.
Yeah.
But let's get into some details.
Let's do it.
Of this week. This week. You want to get in on the forwards?
Yes. Let's start with the forwards.
Ever so revolving door that is the winger on the second line.
Yeah. Kerfoot. So who was it? The first two games it was of the week. The Carolina and Nashville is Kosh, right?
Kasha was definitely in on. Yeah.
And then
Kasha got injured.
Yeah, then he gets injured, and then
someone on Twitter called that when he got injured, they called that a dangerous hit.
I didn't even see the hit that he got injured.
Roman Josi had the puck and was skating up the ice with the puck.
Sounds about right. That's like
How is that dangerous?
Yeah. Like, Kosh is the king of putting himself in dangerous situations.
Oh, yeah.
But
reckless abandonment.
We love it. I like that. But I hope he's okay. I'm sure. It sounds like he's going to be okay.
Sounds very encouraging. I think he's going to be all right. Yeah. A little bit scary when a concussion-prone player like that goes down and stumbles off the ice. Yeah, not the best look.
Time is on our side. We still have a couple weeks away till the playoffs. So again, just take your rest, take your time.
Apparently, he tried to get back into that game. That's where you got to stop him.
Yeah. But yeah, like Kerfoot back on that second line. How'd you think it looked in the next gen game, the New Jersey Devils game?
Oh, Kerfoot played very well in that one. I have more than a few clips that I saved from that game where it was just him making very smart plays. I think your brother said it as well before, pre-concussion, PC. He said that there was more than a few plays from Kerfoot that he absolutely loved in that game. There was one, he came in 1-on-3, cuts to the middle, which we love, like in terms of gets off the wall towards the middle. He goes in 1-on-3 on the defenders. Instead of just like sending a floater on net or trying to do whatever, he slowly dumps it in. One of them was Kevin Ball. Kevin Ball's 6'6", Kerfoot's 5'10". Just to put this in there. He like kind of saunters one in, sends it like not very hard into the corner, and is able to get by the defenseman, puck retrieval, puck up to Nylander for a shot. 1-on-3, he turns that into a chance.
That's good.
It was some very good plays between him and Nylander there, which we've seen throughout this year. It's just been so up and down, which is why they've had to move him off and such. But also a very nice play on the Ilya Mikheyev goal. Denies the blue line, helps to deny the blue line there. Like, just bats the puck away to Mikheyev. Mikheyev up the ice, scores.
Nice.
You don't really notice him. You don't really notice it on more than a few plays. Even against the Carolina game, he was the one that... Like, Carolina tried to put it through the neutral zone. He was the one that made the stop, got it to Kasha, and then Kasha and Nylander finished it off. Like, he has a bunch of second assists this year because he plays with very talented players, but he's able to make that small, simple play that gets the play kick-started, essentially, I'm finding.
It's his biggest thing that I've noticed this year compared to previous years is his promote. Like, he's able to promote the puck into such good areas. Like, wherever he has it, he's able to find it and put it in a better spot. And whether that be give it to a player, give it to wherever it is, he's done a really good job of promoting that puck. And I'm
already past the career high.
Yeah, good. I was so wrong on him earlier in the year, and I'll eat that. I'll eat that so hard, like because he's. I'm
the
so
details
impressed
in his game this year are far better than what we saw last year.
I'm so impressed with him this year, but like I'm looking at the numbers right now. It looks like the line played pretty well. The second line, they controlled the expected goal share by a lot.
William Nylander had a big bounce back, so he played well against Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
The Predators, I'm not gonna. I saw. I guess I'll call him friend. I don't know. Anyways, someone we follow on Twitter, mostly Leafs, had a big thread about all these great plays Nylander made, but like the overall results were terrible. A and B, there was a couple very very lazy plays from him late in the game. I mean, obviously he is gassed, and there was a couple good plays before these lazy ones, but when the puck's coming out of the zone, he does a good shoulder check so he knows Tavares is coming, and the puck is rolling around, and he just kind of flips it on his backhand towards the boards with the net empty like that, and then just kind of curls off. It's not a good look. It's not a good play, and it was just overall ugly. So the old heads had a field day with that one, but the New Jersey game, I thought he played very well. He snapped his 6-game point streak, but looked very good doing so.
Yeah, but
the details in his game game were incredible too.
I still find you can always pick out one part, like one play in each game that he plays. Though it's just always it's always just going to be there, and we kind of have to accept that it's part of his game, I guess. But
I hope we don't have to.
I mean, at this point, like.
So before yesterday, I have a file of 19 videos of good and bad from William Nylander over his 6-game point streak.
Yeah.
8 points in that game, in that stretch. 8 points in 6 games. I'm trying to find one real quick just to show you just what it looked like. Oh, here's one. No, that's not it. Oh, there's a couple doozies in the Heritage Classic game, obviously. There was one. Oh, he just dodges the puck. I'm trying to.
Yeah. But
anyways, this is a great one. I'm showing that to you right now. Just his coverage on the points is brutal. And it's kind of lazy too. Yeah. But so there's several parts, just thinking about it this entire week. Like there's several parts to defense that you got to think of. There's actual like suppression of offense in the defensive zone, like stopping the offense, making sure they don't get good opportunities. And then there's also transporting the puck out of the zone. Mm-hmm. He's very good at skating the puck out of the zone. However, defending the chances within the zone, he kind of struggles.
He struggles, yeah. I feel like he loses, like, not just.
He doesn't really want to block shots. There was one I saw him turn on one.
But you don't really have to block shots. But if you're not going to block a shot, you got to be there like quicker, essentially, right? You got to be
there quick. You got to stop them from just allowing a wide open point shot.
Try and create some havoc.
Don't screen your goalie. He did that one goal against Arizona.
So I do like the game that the second line played against New Jersey, but I do have some critiques because again, like I don't know,
in the New Jersey game.
The New Jersey game, yes, yeah. So because I struggle with who's like the revolving door at left wing, who should play there, and like Kerfoot makes sense there for now, and I'm not saying this because I want Kerfoot to get demoted, but like the main point of what I'm trying to say here is that so the main competition against that second line was the third line of the Devils, which makes sense, right? We want that Engvall line to go against tougher competition. We want our second line to play against weaker competition. But if you're playing like most of your minutes against Johnson, Boquist, and Vesey, is that like maybe a waste of Kerfoot and his like defensive acumen? I know this is a team with a rather weak third line, but because instead I'd rather have like a more skilled player on there and have the ability to try and get more goals, right? Like,
I think I see what you mean.
You understand what I'm saying there? Because like, I know this is a unique situation to New Jersey because New Jersey, again, doesn't have the strongest third line, but like, I don't like...
Especially in a home game.
Yeah.
There. Okay.
There's
one other thing I want to check here. Keep going.
But yeah, even if that means like, I don't know, Kerfoot getting shifts, an extra shift here or there, like, and I know the alternative would be him playing on the fourth line even, but I don't know. I just don't know if this is...
So you think optimally...
I honestly don't even know.
I'm reading between the lines here. Do you think optimally it's Nick Robertson?
Yes. I'm like trying to
that
hint
you would
at
like
that.
to see there. Do you think it's feasible, though, and like it's actually going to happen?
I don't know if it's going to happen, but he deserves a shot back. Like he 100% should be back in the NHL right now. He shouldn't have been demoted. I get that he kind of got demoted for in case the Leafs bow out early in the playoffs and he'll have a chance to play in the AHL, right? because like you have to be.
But they could have just sent him down, sent him back
brought
up.
him. Exactly.
That's what Buffalo did.
Exactly. But when I saw that, I was hoping that was going to happen. That's not what happened. So I just don't understand it. He's looked good on that line. Like he has more goals in the last 30 games than Wayne Simmons. I know that's a knock on Wayne Simmons. Wayne Simmons hasn't scored, right? Like what do you? I know Wayne Simmons plays on the fourth line. I'm asking Robertson to be played on the second line here, but in his showing, he looked good. And if you're going to bury them against poor competition, let's keep him going. Like, why are we like? I don't want to turn this into me bagging on Simmons, but at this point, like, I don't think Simmons should even be like. I think he should be scratched like for the rest of the season now. Honestly, other than the Winnipeg game where I want Simmons and Clifford both in, but
you need them both in.
Other than that, like, I just don't think that he's been effective enough to justify him playing this much, honestly.
How did he do last? He was okay last night, I thought.
Yeah, he caused a little ruckus, which is what you want to see. But like again, like
yeah, they were okay. But yeah, he has not been zero shots on that, 0-0. Okay, yeah.
In his like, I just am not happy with his game lately.
Yeah, no, I don't think anyone is really. Yeah. I mean, he hasn't caused enough ruckus where you're like, you have to keep him in the lineup kind of thing. And he also hasn't caused created any offense really either.
Not at all. And his
last chance came against the Kraken. That was like 4 games ago.
Yeah, he's just a weight on our fourth line, it feels like, because he's like, he doesn't have the speed to like keep like anymore to keep up with like the way that our like Blackwell.
And also you got to think in the playoffs, like people, the playoffs, it gets tougher. There's no drop the gloves fights in the playoffs. It's a lot of scuffles.
Yeah, but
do you need Wade Simmons in there, kind of thing?
I don't even know. My brother brought up a good point, and maybe it's even better to just roll 11-7, like kind of like what Tampa did. I know we lack like the veteran 6 and 7 defensemen that Tampa did, like when they were in the playoff run. They ran it a couple times with, I think it was Shen and it wasn't Bogosian, was it?
Last year? No.
Or I don't know if it was last year or 2 years ago, but on their cup run
I think in the finals though they did 6D.
True, but that's
because I know Bogosian and Shen were both scratched for like games 2-6 or whatever.
Okay,
2-5.
But finals. Even still, it's like Simmons has been such a non-factor for us. It's like
I know
it should be like that resource should be going like that spot should be going somewhere else. I
haven't loved when they roll 11 forwards though, whether it's by choice or whatever.
The only time we rolled it, we got.
It's from injuries.
2 minutes in, like what?
The one time they planned 11. Yeah, like Andre Kasha got knocked out.
Yeah, but
that was kind of crazy. But they ended up with 10, and it looked even worse.
Yeah,
but I see what you mean.
Yeah.
I mean Nick Robertson, like last night, 4 points against Wilkes-Barre Scranton, had a goal his first game back in the AHL as well. He's up to 13 points in 12 games in the AHL this entire year. He impressed. He showed some great flashes with the Leafs there. That is an interesting point that you think it should be him on the second line there. But with the addition of Blackwell, I find it's very log jammed at forward.
Definitely.
I kind of feel like they're not going to do it. Unless he keeps putting up 4-point games. But I would like to see him in this lineup. I think he showed some very, very good flashes when he was. And
I've been talking a lot about. I keep jumping around here. Sorry, but I just keep I'm remembering conversations I had with my brother earlier in the week, and we just kept talking about how like what are your thoughts? I know we keep bringing this up, but what are your thoughts on splitting up Tavares and Nylander? Just because I feel like at this point, like they don't promote each other, they don't like play better together. I feel like they can provide the equal amount of value together as they can apart. So if that's the case, split them. Maybe split them up. Maybe roll Nylander, Kerfoot, and Robertson, or Nylander, Kerfoot, and Kosh, and then put like a fourth line. I don't know. I don't like calling it a fourth line, but John Tavares, Spezza, and whoever. I don't know. But how do you feel about like splitting that up? And
I don't feel great about dropping Tavares in the lineup. And it's like, I don't know. Maybe like the first line is playing very, very well. Yeah, like I don't know how you split that up.
I feel like that's at this point you can't.
So if you can't split up that first line, you don't want to drop 2 of your premier offensive players down in the lineup, like, then what do you do?
I mean, just because you drop him in the lineup, I think you could still find ways to get John Tavares to get, or William Nylander to get extra shifts and more minutes.
Like, I wonder if you put him with like more like the third line, what happens there? But then who comes up?
Yeah,
and plays center? Well, you could put Alex Kerfoot. That's a lot of juggling right there.
We're thinking a lot of juggling. But if I think first and third line have been so good for us.
I love how when they do major overhauls of the lines that they always just end up back
to the normal lines.
Back to what they were 10 seconds later.
Yeah. But
so
going forward,
this late in the season, I don't see them doing that. It's March 24th. Yeah. I don't see them changing anything. I see them keeping Nylander, Tavares together still, but I could be wrong there.
Yeah. I do want to see.
I thought last night was a good start. Hopefully, they keep that going.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's my big thing there. Maybe when Kasha comes back, they put Kasha back there, but I don't know. I thought it looked pretty good in Carolina. I forgot this week one of the games Austin Matthews was suspended.
Yeah, I forgot about that too. Yeah, wow.
So they did Kerfoot, Kasha, Nylander, and it did work out. It worked out pretty well. Mm-hmm. Did it not?
Yeah, I thought
they scored.
It looked good. It looked good from what I remember. Yeah, so like that could even be a line there, and then like Spezza, Tavares, and whoever else is.
Every solution we bring up, there's another issue that then comes up, and it's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Holy, Corsi in this game, 42.39% for the Leafs.
Yeah,
but the expected goals was 44%.
Mm-hmm.
Hey. Anyways, Kallgren played pretty well in that one.
I thought so too. Yeah, he looked good.
But yeah, in terms of that second game, they kind of got shelled.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought they worked pretty well together.
But the biggest point of this breaking up the second line is that they're not being effective enough on offense where the two together are like, okay, wow, these guys are clicking really well. They're elevating each other. They're just not elevating each other, I find. Mm-hmm. That's like the main point. And
they're not.
They're already playing like poorer competition. So
and Marner and Tavares look good together.
Yeah.
They scored as well.
Yeah. So it's not it's not like these guys can't elevate each other. It just hasn't really worked.
That was another point. When it was funny that the Leafs 2 games without their superstar, they win.
Yeah.
And then the one game he comes back, they lose.
Yeah. In typical fashion, but whatever. Anyways.
But
changing gears, what did you think about Blackwell's? Sorry, did you want to add anything or
no? I think that's it's a conundrum on the second line there. Unless there's the hope is that Kerfoot back on the wing there really juices that line back up and they start to play well together and they start to mesh. Otherwise, we have a whole slew of just changes that need to be made that have a trickle down effect within the lineup. Yeah. That's my opinion there. Yeah. But in terms of Blackwell and Giordano, I have a lot of notes on Colin Blackwell since last episode. I got to watch a full shift-by-shift of him, especially watching him last night. I find he's not very smart offensively, I don't think with the puck, when he has the puck, I don't find he puts himself in the best spaces to create offense. He's not really a play driver. He's not really going to create a lot of offense off his stick. He is going to finish in front of the net pretty well. He lacks getting high danger chances as well, like just shots from good areas kind of thing. But as I posted in that highlight video, it's all very, very greasy goals. One of them off his head, even too. That was crazy. But I like his defensive game. I really like how he challenges the points. He's a pretty quick skater, and he's not afraid to challenge. He's not afraid to challenge with contact against defenders. He likes the front of the net.
He'll initiate.
Loves the high tip, front of the net, kind of greasy goals. I like how he initiates contact both in front of the net and along the boards as well. He's not afraid of the mud. So, good fourth line player, I would say, that brings some good and needed speed to the lineup and some defending down in the lineup as well.
Yeah, he gives a good amount of juice into that fourth line. He looked pretty good on the fourth line against New Jersey. I know he whiffed on a hit, I think, but he still looked
4 hits, I think.
Yeah, he was still throwing the body around, and his speed
likes to throw the body. Yeah, I don't like how he kind of when he gets the puck, he fades off towards the boards out of scoring areas and tries to send the puck into space. Like tries to make a pass into space where his teammate can win a battle or skate into it, whatever. Yeah. I find those passes are kind of low percentage, and he hasn't clicked on many of those at all.
Yeah.
I'd like him to cut more into the not cut into the middle, head down, kind of. That's how you get rocked, but put himself into more favorable offensive areas.
Yeah.
To create offense from there.
Yeah, because if you're going to fade away, you want to draw someone with you, and if you're not doing that, then there's no point.
He does, but it's just like when you send just a space pass, like a pass into space like that, into a scoring area, like usually the other player is contested, and how good of a shot are they going to be able, how good of a possession are they going to be able to get off of that? Maybe it might work once every 15 times, but usually, like, if you, like, I know what you mean by that, and like Marner does that really well. Draws in the defender and then makes a pass, but it's not a space. It's not a pass where the person's, you didn't create space into space. Yeah. Marner creates space off the pass and makes a tape-to-tape pass, where the guy has space because he's drawn in one defender and then creates shifts in the defense there. I wonder pretty if challenged offensively. I could see why he's on the second power play too, just front of the net, tips. Yeah, that kind of thing.
I just wonder if hopefully that aspect of his game could get maybe a little supplemented, but just by playing in our system, maybe he's just used to like different systems in Seattle. If not, I don't think it's even that big of a deal because again, we didn't bring him in to be like a scorer. We have enough scorers, right? We bring him in to shore up that defensive PK, PK and play some good defense on that fourth line and like I can't believe I even thought it would be a good idea to put him on that second line. I did not think that would.
I tweeted that.
I don't think that would work at all.
I don't think that's going to work. That's not
going to, like, after watching
more in depth,
the clips you put together, like that's
I thought apparently they went on a hot streak, him and Panarin together, but like he just doesn't create offense off his stick. Like, if you're going to add him to the second line, you might as well add Pierre Engvall because Pierre Engvall is somehow better off the rush than him and better offensively than Colin Blackwell. And
I don't think he would be a guy who would complement Tavares. And
Tavares is also a net front.
Because they're both net front shooters, like kind of, he's not really a playmaker, right? And that doesn't, I don't think that would work with
Kerfoot. And there's other guys in the lineup that do a lot better things offensively than what he kind of specializes in, I guess. But good fourth line player.
Exactly. And
if we didn't have Mikheyev Engvall, that would be like a good guy to put on the third line kind of thing for defense, right?
And I think that was the idea in getting him is just like again another piece of insurance.
More defensive,
exactly.
A forward defensive depth, so to speak.
Yeah, he's
shores up the fourth line pretty well. I think. So there's a good fit into the lineup for him. If that was our only acquisition, I'd be like, don't love it, but it's a good ad. I would say I like him.
I feel like he was just kind of like thrown in, which is nice.
Speed, defense. And a couple of mud goals, we'll call them. In terms of Giordano, what I found with Giordano's game, he's extremely smart player. Anticipates the play very well. Doesn't have many hits on the year, but is more than willing to play physical in front of the net. As Josh has said in many, many episodes, like in front of the net, the defense's goal is to sting the defender, so give him a little cross-check, small one. They don't call that. Promise you. Little sting and then stick lift. He does that perfectly every time. That's going to help the goaltending immaculately.
There was a great play, I just sorry to interrupt, but behind the net where he made, like, he was beat to the puck, he stinged the guy, and like he was able to like sting him and then get the puck and push it to Liljegren.
Right?
Yeah, I think, or it was Blackwell. I don't know who it was, but he made a great little it's those little things that are tough to notice but are super effective when
small
when they do
play.
it.
Active stick as well. Does similar things kind of well to what Brody does, I find, which is kind of funny. But very good on the first pass as well. Not like the quickest skater. He's a decent skater, I would say. But not having that insane quickness like what Riley does kind of thing. It doesn't allow him to put himself into good scoring areas in the offensive zone, so he's not able to cut to the middle of the ice, I find, or he just doesn't, so to speak. So he's smart with the puck, and he takes his time with it as well in the offensive zone, which allows him to make plays from there, but he's making it from like the far, like along the boards from the blue line as opposed to the middle where you're more likely to score. So that's where I think his offensive game is hampered a little bit. But overall, he's a very, very solid all situations player. Yeah. Solid, smart, moves the puck well, defends well. That's 110% what we need. Yeah. The offense is an added little bonus. He adds a little bit of good offense. In terms of his minus 21, I watched a shift by shift. I watched all of his shifts, I should just say. It was a game against Montreal. This was how he got a minus on this play. Because he's minus 21 on the year. I saw some people concerned about that. This was one of the minuses. Pass came across. Giordano tried to stack the pads, block the shot that came. Guy airmailed it over the net. Okay. Grubauer dove across. Old school dove across. paddle, like stick on the butt. His blocker hand was on the butt end of his stick. So his stick was in no position at all. Puck comes back out to the point. Grubauer's trying to get his stick back. He got it stuck under the crossbar. And so by the time the shot came, he's just wildly out of position. And it was just a regular shot from the blue line. Went in. That's a minus.
Yeah.
He's a minus 21 because of Philip Grubauer.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
That's pretty much it. That's all I'm going to say. Like the minus 21 is the biggest fraud minus 21 I've ever seen. Yeah. Especially from that game. That was insane. He doesn't give up many those home run chances. He's good. And Liljegren's going to learn a lot from him, I think.
Yeah.
Because he does a lot of things well that Liljegren does not.
Yes. Yeah, that's very true. And
so
it's a great I'm happy for the little bit that Muzzin's out, or for however long Muzzin's out, that they're going to be playing together. Yeah. Because I think he's 38 years old. He's been in the league for a really long time. He's going to teach Liljegren a thing or two about and be like a good veteran guy who he can like learn off of and not be afraid to make mistakes with, because Giordano will shelter him and will help him out a lot. But going forward into in thinking more about the playoffs, how'd you feel about like the new, let's call them new pairings, I guess.
Well,
they're not really new.
Come back, so they're going to change again.
Yeah,
right.
But
so my anticipation is that Sandin's not going to play for the rest of the year.
Yes, I think that's
based on it's a knee injury
and it's multiple weeks.
I don't think he's going to I don't think he should try to play on it. It's
and I don't know exactly which knee it was or what.
I don't know where it happened at all. But I heard from someone it's ACL.
Yeah. So and he has
I don't know how torn it is, but
he has a history of like leg injuries, and he's only 22 years old. So that's not like,
has he even turned 22 yet?
He just turned 22, I think.
There
so,
we go.
But yeah, like that.
All the best to him, but that it does not sound good.
Out. Yeah, let's just wait till next year for him, just because again, I don't want him to I don't want him to come back too soon and re-aggravate it and it be so much worse, right? So,
shout out to Miele Dreger for that scoop.
Yeah, but it's tough. It's sad news. It's unfortunate, but
very unfortunate.
That's all we can do is kind of move forward and hope he's okay and hope the best. He
would have been a great add to having that he's awesome offense, sheltered offense in the playoffs. That would have been incredible.
Mm-hmm. For me, he was even though we got Giordano, if he didn't get hurt, he was locked in the playoffs for me on that third lefty. He
played very well this year. He's more than deserved it.
100%. He
sucks.
He's improved a lot this year, so it's a good season for him. But yeah, like you said, it sucks to see that.
Unfortunately, I don't see him coming back. So I'm guessing that Liljegren's probably going to come out for the playoffs. If they like Hole, they're probably going to play Hole, Muzzin together. But I saw some people complaining about that. But we were complaining about that when they were our top pairing.
Yeah,
their third pairing now.
Yeah, they're going to be our third.
A little bit, dial it back a little bit on their terms of their competition. I think they're going to come back and look very, very nice.
100%, especially since Hall. Like, considering Hall has looked pretty good. He's
looked good. Other than last game. Against the Devils, he looked like ass. But he looks good with Brody, and he looked really good when he was playing with Sandin against really poor competition. But they really should be putting Brody Giordano together.
I think so, too. It's
just so no-brainer.
Yeah, and like when Muzzin comes back with Hall, I think it makes the most sense to, at least for before the playoffs, give him cheese competition, give him the easy stuff, and let Giordano and Brody be that shutdown pair. Let those guys do it,
Brody,
because those guys would be great at it, I think.
Yeah. I believe. I haven't taken a look at what happened yesterday.
I mean, there was a tough bounce from the Lyubushkin goal, but I don't know. That was on the penalty.
That was on the penalty kick.
Yeah, sorry. But I've liked the way that those two have played together. Like, it's just one of those simple, like, keep it simple, stupid. Like, they worked well together. It's like the classic rover and like stay-at-home defenseman. So they've looked good together. Something funny I noticed, though, I feel like Ilya Lyubushkin has been jumping up a bit more when he plays with Riley.
No, he's always done that. Well, it was something I even said when he got traded here. He likes to jump up in the play. Unfortunately, offensively, he's horrible.
Yeah, but what was it? That's okay though. It's just
I think it was Colin Black. It was someone I was keeping an eye on for that game. They made a really nice play, and then they got the puck to Lyubushkin. Oh, it was Nylander. And it was a decent shot, actually. But just off in the offensive zone. Like, Lyubushkin moves the puck decently, but just in the offensive zone, he's so bad. He's kind of a zero. But we didn't bring him in here to score goals. He had 9 career points coming into the Leafs. Like, who cares? I don't care that he does that. Just keep blocking shots and hitting people in front of the net, and we'll be fine.
Yeah.
But in terms of moving, I could see Riley Lyubushkin is working pretty well. I think they should keep that going. I've liked what I've seen so far, just based off of eye test. I probably have to do more stat surfing on that one there. But and
then
what were we talking about?
No, we were just talking about like new pairings and kind of what would happen when Muzzin comes back.
We were talking about defense. Yeah,
and like just I don't know the cheese. Like, we want Muzzin and Hall to go against the easier pairings.
Yeah,
but I think defense is pretty simple this week.
It hasn't looked that bad.
Yeah.
I mean,
no criticism for me.
Nashville was they gave up some chances, I would say, but yesterday was good. It was a good start. It was New Jersey. They're coming off a back-to-back. They're not a very good team, but it was a good start, I would say.
Yeah.
Let's get into our sponsor for this episode. This episode is brought to you by Manscaped. We've been talking about Manscaped for well over a month right now. We love the products that they sent us. Cannot wait for they've got some other ones on the way. I'll hold off on that because they're still in transit right now. We'll let you know what we think once we get them. But Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. They've launched the 4th-generation trimmer, the Lawnmower 4.0. Use the nose trimmer. It was kind of funny. Someone sent me a picture of one of my friends. It was zoomed in on him too, and you could see some hairs coming out of his nose.
That's okay. We're not going to judge, but we'll only judge.
I'm going to judge. Just buy the nose trimmer.
Yeah, that's it.
Manscaped. And when you go to buy the nose trimmer, promo code RINKRAT, RINKRAT, at manscaped.com at checkout. Get 20% off and free shipping.
Yeah, summer's around the corner.
Ball deodorant's going to be a must.
It's a must, especially when that warm weather starts to kick in. It is a must. So I'll just leave it at that. And
yeah, promo RinkRat at
promo
checkout,
code RinkRat.
20% off and free shipping.
Yes.
Let's get into the goalies.
Yes.
It's been a hot topic, just like the store. A hot topic for the Toronto Maple Leafs. In terms of the Leafs not getting Fleury, apparently, so that trade, the Chicago proposed trade that came out that Kyle Dubas got mad about, that was like Chicago approached Toronto about that.
Yeah.
So that's where Kyle Dubas got pissed off.
Yeah, because
now it's like that gets out to his team. It's like,
if you're Mrazek, how do you feel?
You don't
want to,
Campbell,
how do you feel? Right? Like,
well, it's more so Campbell. They waived Mrazek.
Yeah, no, true.
Mrazek, people, the team, like Mrazek should know how the team feels about him. He got put on waivers.
Yeah. And
now Mrazek knows how the rest of the NHL thinks about him and his contract right now.
Yeah.
They don't like it.
Yeah.
At all. So Mrazek cleared waivers earlier this week. They tried to sign Hari Satari. 32 Thoughts had a very interesting reason as to why they have European players when they're signed during the season, why they have to go through waivers. Because back in the 80s, there was a guy that, this was from 32 Thoughts. Apparently there's a guy that would play most of the season in Europe and then would just come and sign late in the season with the Oilers. I can't look up his name. I can't remember
his name, but I think Ron Wilson also did that.
Ron Wilson also would do that.
Yes.
They would play the full season in Europe and then just come over to the NHL and win a Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
And it was like a free deadline ad.
Yeah.
So that's why they had to put the waivers in, and 4 or 5 teams made a claim on Hari Satari. So it kind of sucks, but whatever happens. But what was I saying? The reason I'm kind of happy they didn't go out and get who was the only goalie available? Marc-Andre Fleury.
Yeah, and then
he plays a similar style to Mrazek. Mm-hmm. Like if Mrazek's not working right, I'm not saying Mrazek and Fleury are the same, but if like Mrazek's style isn't working with the Leafs, I don't know. Like, would you want to roll the dice on another smaller, athletic goalie that challenges heavily?
No.
Like, what if it's just the Leafs' defending style doesn't fit that? Right?
Yeah.
That's kind of a risk. That's where I'm like. Mrazek was not playing well. He was all right. Sorry, Josh wanted me to say there was one word that he wanted to say on this podcast before he fell to injury that I will proverbially adequate. Proverbially adequate. That's how he described Peter Mrazek's game the other day.
Really?
But yeah, I'm okay that they didn't get a goalie. I think these additions on defense will help the goaltending tremendously.
Yeah, I agree. And just look, like even just our defense playing together as a whole, and plus Muzzin coming back, like lately they look good at clearing that net, which is
it was a major issue for a while.
A big point of emphasis that we've been making for that team. But,
so anyways, the goaltending. So Erik Kallgren got 2 of the games. He got Carolina, played solid. Couldn't have asked for much more there. And then he got the Nashville game where went a little awry, but like wasn't really his fault at all. At least, gave up some good chances in front of him, unfortunately. He made 3 very, very nice saves in that game too. So I wanted to talk a little bit about what Mike McKenna from Daily Faceoff said about Erik Kallgren. So he was saying, like, there are things to like about Erik Kallgren. Pretty big goalie, challenges pretty well, very good posture. He moves decently in the net. He was saying, though, the rebound control people have pointed out, and he doesn't control his arms that well, and he doesn't catch the puck very well. So that's where he lets out some squeaky rebounds around the net there. That's something he really needs to work on. I think that's the most glaring, obvious hole in his game, I would say. His glaring, obvious Justin hole in his game. Additionally to that, there was one goal on Saturday where he was kind of behind the puck. Quicker feet, I would say, in following the penalty kill. That was an interesting point there. And then on top of that, his reads, but that's just something that comes with time. Yeah. A lot of younger goalies, that's something that you can't really, it's tough. Like if you haven't played in the NHL, you get to the NHL.
It's a completely different pace.
It's a completely different pace. Doesn't matter where you have played before. Mm-hmm. So that'll just come with a little bit of time. His reads were, I'd say they were okay, not the greatest. They were all right. They were decent, but he got burned. It was on, specifically Mike McKenna pointed out, the 5th goal. It was a 2-on-1. The shot came. He couldn't catch it, and he didn't have much momentum going back. So that's where Nashville was able to beat him on the rebound there.
Yeah.
Right. So.
Yeah, that's a good rundown of kind of Kallgren.
Yeah, he played very well.
Mm-hmm.
Stops the first shot very well. Rebounds are a little bit leaky when they hit him in the chest there, but overall, look promising.
Yeah.
Very promising, and some things to work on there. Mrazek in the next gen game made a couple decent saves. The 2 goals, I don't blame him at all for.
Quickly before you get into it, how do you feel about them giving Mrazek the game over Kallgren? Because
I don't mind it at all.
Okay.
I don't know. New Jersey's not that good.
True. Yeah.
I thought they were going to give it to Kallgren, but I mean, you have Mrazek there. Why not give him a go kind of thing?
See if he can, whatever. See if
he can kind of redeem himself.
Yeah.
And now you got a back-to-back situation, so you would have had to play him anyways.
Yeah,
so if you sit him this game, what's his confidence going to be like going into those games? Like maybe instill a little bit of confidence into him. He just cleared waivers too.
Yeah.
Think about that. Like that's got to be a shot to your ego.
100%.
Just cleared waivers. Give him this game. See how he does, and then you got to play him one of these 2 games coming this weekend, right? So hopefully that'll help him out. I'm curious to see which game they give him. I'm probably betting on it's Florida.
Okay.
I'm gonna guess, right?
What's the game before? It's
Montreal.
Florida then Montreal. You don't think they'd give him Montreal?
Mrazek?
Yeah. So I know you said that. Like you don't blame both the goal. I think the second goal is like he should have stopped that. Like in the
Mrazek?
Yes, in the New Jersey game. The way he was inside of his. First of all, he didn't make a single save on the play.
Yeah,
Justin Hall
stopped the first one.
And then
the second one.
The second one went in. It trickled through.
First one, Justin Hall, it hit his stick. Second one, it hit Peter Mrazek.
Yeah.
Third one, they finished.
Yeah.
It's a third rebound on a 2-on-1 in front of the net.
That's true. That's true, but I just still feel like he's
off of it. He had to slide, and he also had to play the backdoor pass.
Yeah, I feel like he's just.
So if you're getting 2 rebounds off of a backdoor pass,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know what else you expect.
I just still feel like it's so close to his body that he's got to save those, but I don't know. That's how I feel. But
the third rebound off of backdoor pass should not be anywhere near the net, kind of thing. Like. You can't blame him. Oh, he was out of position. It was off a backdoor pass that got through.
The thing is, it was off of him, and when he went to save it, he was already inside of his net. Like you can't be like he was literally in it. Like he saved it, but the puck was already in the net when he saved it with his pad
off the third rebound.
Yes, yeah. So I don't know.
I don't blame him at all.
Okay,
this is
fair.
not like it wasn't like the third rebound went out very far. These were all
Yeah.
whacks in front of the net.
Yeah,
I don't blame him at all for that one.
yeah. Well, he's gonna have to play anyways in a back-to-back. So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, and then the first one being a tip. I thought
Yeah,
he was
that was-
fine. He made a nice backdoor save in the second period or first period. Might have been the first period. He made a very nice backdoor save. Hit off. It went backdoor. I can't remember. It was probably Hughes or someone. A shot went up high, and he was able to stop it. That was a good one. But he was all right. He wasn't bad, I thought, at all. I don't fault any of those goals on him. Interesting goaltending matchups we got. Frederik Andersen did not play very well against the Leafs. Kind of funny. His first game back in Toronto with fans, and he pooped his pants a little bit. Not bad. Nice to see Big Game Fred is still doing well. But UC Saros on Saturday had himself a game. Even the second goal that Austin Matthews scored, like, number one, the third goal his own team scored on him. But the second goal that Austin Matthews scored was off of a massive save. He was able to get the rebound off of a massive, massive save. Like UC Saros robbed him. I would have been so pissed off if that puck didn't go in the net. Mm-hmm. But on top of that, I think he had like 10 very good saves in that game. So he kept Nashville afloat in that one. I mean, people are saying, "Oh, you're going to run into a hot goalie in playoffs. How are you going to solve him?" I don't know. If you can't solve it, you're obviously just going to lose. Yeah. I mean, that's the same with every single team, though. Oh, when Tampa Bay runs into a hot goalie, what's going to happen? They're going to lose if they don't score any goals. I believe that's the name of the game.
That's how it works.
And
usually.
The Leafs scored 3 in that one, mind you. I would like to point out they put 3 past a very hot goalie.
Yeah, I'm not worried about the Leafs running into a hot goalie. I think this
playing their third string goalie with 2 guys now that with some regulars out of the lineup. Yeah. Interesting, but it was a playoff game, so they suck, right? Nico Dawes in the third game there against New Jersey. I thought he looked pretty good. I mean, he's a young goaltender. He's 2000 born, but he's still 21 until December. Made some decent saves in this one. He's a decently sized goaltender as well. This is his second professional season. Last year he played in Germany. But on top of that, I think it was the Mikheyev first goal. He didn't track back at all. Kind of didn't play that one great. The second one, the Marner one, he was a little bit deep in his net. Matthews made fluffed the pass, not fluffed it, but kind of pillowed the pass, so it was very, very soft to Marner. I think if that was a little bit harder, he would have played it a little different. But it gave Marner a pretty good angle on the shot, and Dawes was a little bit deep. Marner was able to get it up just enough.
It was a good shot.
It was a good shot. I think he could have played it a little bit high. He could have came out a little bit more. He should have. I don't think he came off of his post in the most ideal spot.
Yeah.
But these were 2 mistakes that he made that I'm kind of you have to dig in deep kind of thing. I mean, it's a breakaway and a one-timer and then another 2-on-1 where your defenseman ends up in the corner, right? Yeah. So 3 very good chances, but just a couple small details where it's you've played it's a young goaltender. Yeah, there's some things he has to work on.
He also played off his second game of a back-to-back, so it's
he was team in front of him was a little tired.
Yeah. And
right.
Well, he played the game before too.
He played.
Yeah, he's been playing back-to-backs for them.
What the hell?
Yeah, they've been
they
rolling
just
him.
Hate Akira Schmid and John Gillies. I don't blame them because both of them suck.
They stink, but yeah. So yeah, whatever. He was whatever.
Just a small fault.
Yeah.
Few small details, but overall he played decently.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he played all right for a 21-year-old goaltender there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, against the Rangers, he gave up 4 on 35 shots.
Yeah, that's tough being peppered with 35 shots. And
then March 15, 16, he played back-to-back as well.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So going forward, I know that we have the back-to-back, but let's say Campbell doesn't come back for another 2 weeks. Do you think
another 2 weeks?
Let's just I'm just spitballing idea. Let's just say right. What I don't know. He should be back soon.
In Montreal and then in Toronto against Florida. I
know those.
It's Shaw. I think it's going Kallgren and then Mrazek.
I honestly feel more confident in Kallgren against Florida.
Yeah, because you've seen 3 decent games of him, and you've seen Mrazek crap the bed a few times.
Oh, not a few times. Almost every single game he's played now.
He's had a couple good ones in there. It has not been good. I will say that.
Yeah, I don't know. I still think I trust our Kallgren more than than him right now.
It was snowballing on him, but he had a good start in there.
I don't know. I just don't have any. I still don't have any confidence in him. He didn't look overly good in the New Jersey game. He just looked all right. I mean, I don't think he really was challenged that much. Saves. I don't think he was challenged that much at all.
There was a couple of shots off the rush that he stopped that were pretty nice.
Yeah, but
he was solid. I mean, the 2 goals I don't fault him at all for. And then made some decent saves in there as well off the rush.
Yeah, but
I don't know. Thought he was all right.
Yeah, I don't know. I just me going forward. I still think Kallgren is. Yeah.
Sample size.
I guess they'll do it until you prove me wrong, right?
Yeah.
I guess maybe you could say the Nashville game was like proved it wrong, but I still thought he played okay and during that game.
He was okay.
Yeah, so.
He was all right. I don't really blame him for that, but I mean, just kind of think I think Montreal's a very good matchup for Kallgren. In terms of Florida, they're a very, very fast team.
Yeah, but Kallgren did well against Carolina, who almost is like kind of a not the exact same, but kind of similar.
You think they're similar to Florida?
I don't know. They like to shoot a lot, both of them. That's for sure. Florida probably likes more quality. Like Carolina likes more quantity.
Florida's also just better.
Florida is definitely. Oh, don't get me wrong. Florida is definitely better.
Carolina's better.
Who played well against the better team last? It's Kallgren. I know that's like a silly way to think about it, but
I forgot to mention Mrazek on his reverse VH. You know, when you're up against the post.
Yes.
How they put the one pad down flat and the other one's up. He's still giving up space on that.
Yeah, I've noticed.
New Jersey tried to go for it 3 times.
I noticed that there's a little hole there. So, and that's something that just needs that
kind of.
You're an NHL goalie, you can't let that in.
That's the only part of his game that scares me.
Yeah.
I mean, the rest of it, like people are like, oh, he's so jumpy, I have no confidence. Like, yeah, because he's been playing like shit, and he's a smaller goaltender that's very active in the net.
Yeah.
And challenges a lot. Like that's what
he plays. That's what
happens.
Yeah, we knew that that's what we were getting when we signed up for it. But
I thought it was funny also. Kyle Dubas saying, oh, Peter, he's a NHL vet, over 300 games. He's gone through highs and lows. He went through a low in Detroit and never rebounded.
Yeah.
And then ended up out of Detroit, where he rebounded after that.
Yeah.
But he did not rebound in Detroit.
Mm-hmm. And then I remember he went to Philadelphia.
He went to Philadelphia, crapped the bed there, did not get qualified, went to Carolina afterwards for $1.5 million. A steal. But yeah. So, in terms of, I said, I don't think I'm like Peter Mrazek. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't find his game for the rest of the year. I mean, he had one decent game. It's something to build off of. Mm-hmm. I'm still leaning more towards I don't know. Mm-hmm. But it's one game. Hopefully he can find his confidence, because if he doesn't here, it's like, all right, we're running out of time with you, brother.
Yeah. We might have already gotten there, honestly. Who knows?
Hopefully not. I mean, there's still time.
Yeah, there's still a couple.
I think the building block is in place. Mm-hmm. So now, where do you go from there?
That's why I think even just to build his confidence, Montreal might be like Florida. I think he'll get. Well, I think we'll get torched.
Pumped last time he played Montreal.
I know, but it's Montreal. Is it going to happen again? I guess they're hot, but you're asking me between the best team in the league and Montreal. I'd rather
Montreal's playing pretty well.
That's true, but I'd rather give him Montreal over Florida. I don't know. Anyways, anything else on the goalies there?
Oh, they play each other tonight. That's kind of funny.
Montreal and Florida.
Yeah.
Ah, interesting.
Spencer Knight's in net.
Huh.
That's kind of funny. Oh, Jake Allen's back.
Well, hopefully we can take
hopefully we can take advantage.
Yeah. Hopefully Montreal can get a win there and help us out a bit.
Yeah.
We're friends.
We'll see.
We let you guys win last year. That's what happened. Yeah.
Yeah. But in terms of the goalies, I think I covered everything here. I can understand why nobody has confidence in Peter Mrazek. I mean, I just see that there's the one building block in place. I'm like, it's for me. There is a starting point.
Yeah.
To rebound. Will it happen? I cannot answer that.
I appreciate your optimism on it. It's important to be. Can't be all negative all the time about it. You got to hope. Yeah. You got to hope that he does, right? And if he doesn't, oh well.
Yeah, and also you have to look at full sample sizes of things. Just going, oh nope, I want the 25-year-old with 4 games of experience over Mrazek right now. Okay, relax. So, yeah, That's all I got for there. Do you have any goalie defense comments?
No, I'm
all right.
pretty good with that.
Some Leafs news. The Leafs signed Curtis Douglas to an entry-level contract. Really, really big guy that plays center. Loves 6 fights this year with the Marlies on top of that, too. He is 6'8". 6'8". 27 points in 51 games this year with 8 goals. Decent shot. I don't think his release is the quickest. I would like that to get quicker. But kind of slow as well. But, like, again, you don't find that many hockey players with that kind of size.
Mm-hmm.
That's what makes him unique, and hopefully he's been improving, and hopefully he can continue to do so, right? Because as we've said on this show, just because you are big does not mean it's going to be a smooth transition into the pros.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's that learning curve that you have to overcome, right? And hopefully he continues to build off of that. And you know what? We got him for 2 or 3 more years. I can't remember.
Well, after it starts next year, 2 years, I think.
It's 2 years. Okay, that makes sense because he's older.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see, right?
Yeah. And another thing, Brendan Manel got shipped for future considerations, which is whatever. The only notable thing is that it clears up a contract. Yeah. So we have,
and they got Philip Myers, former World Junior defenseman, on loan from the Predators to the Marlies.
But I don't think that means
so
much.
They are not. So they don't have. The Leafs
rights.
Don't have his rights. It's the Predators still.
Yeah.
However, he will just be playing in the AHL for the Marlies.
It's Binnington. It happened to Binnington when he was the year he actually went on to win the cup.
Happened with Sam Gagner to the Marlies.
Yeah. So
and
players just get loaned out. That's just the way the AHL works.
Yeah. Just to kind of like operational expenses.
Yeah.
I believe. So, anyways, that's all I got here.
Yeah, that's it.
This week. Big week coming up. Some big opponents.
Yeah. 5 games
Montreal, Panthers, and Boston are the next 3.
Yes. And the Leafs right now it's a tight race for the Atlantic. They're sitting 5 points behind Florida, who have 1 game in hand. But if they drop it to Montreal, it'd be great.
It'd be massive.
It would only be a 5 points for us to overcome. We'd only need 2 or 3 games to do that. And plus, we play Florida, I think 2 or 3 times down the stretch. So
3 more times.
Yeah, so that ground can easily be made up in head-to-head. And then
the Lightning 2 more times.
Yeah, Lightning 2 more times as well. They also have a game in hand, but they're a point behind us right now with 84. And then Boston, we were saying don't sleep on Boston because guess what? They're 2 points behind us right now with the same amount of games played. So it is as tight.
Same amount now?
Yeah, 63. Both of us 63, and they have 2 less points than us. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they really. The Jeremy Swayman effect. The Jeremy Swayman effect, I think, is the only.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Also, the back-to-backs that the Leafs have coming up on the latter halves of the back-to-back, so Montreal and then Florida. Nice. First in the division. The next one here, obviously I clicked on that. That's nice. The next one here, we have the Lightning and then the Panthers back-to-back. Nice. And then Ottawa Islanders, whatever. And then that's the end. And then Panthers Capitals, Saturday, Sunday. So few nice back-to-backs in there.
Those are tough. I feel like we're gonna lose 2 of like we're gonna lose one of those. We're gonna lose both games, and everyone's gonna freak out. Everyone's gonna freak out, but it'll be okay.
Freaks out over everything.
I know, but it'll
ridiculous.
Be an extra freak out.
Yep.
But yeah,
sky's not falling, Chicken Little.
Yeah,
that's all I got. You got anything else?
That's it for me.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Please rate the show on iTunes or Spotify or your local
podcast
billboard. Or just at
billboard?
your community center. Yes. Just write our name everywhere. Don't actually, but thank you, everyone, for listening.
Go Leafs, go. The Rink Rat Report podcast is brought to you by BetStamp, the ultimate sports betting companion app. Track, follow, and analyze your bets across multiple sports books. And while you're there, check out the world's first verified buy and sell marketplace for sports betting picks. Download the app today. The Rink Rat Report podcast is also brought to you by Season 2 of The Law Garage. Host Marco Shara, a Toronto criminal defense lawyer, interviews various criminal lawyers about the practice of criminal defense, gets them to share their war stories, and helpful tips for up-and-coming lawyers interested in the area of law. Out now on all of your favorite podcasting platforms. Step into the garage, listen to the experts, and get a tune-up.